Hi guys, welcome back to Breakfast Japan. It has been a while. I ended up taking quite a long time off. I don't know. It's been a long year, as I'm sure we've all experienced. England is finally starting to come out of lockdown, which is great, and things are starting to return to normal. And I hope wherever you are in the world that the same is happening for you. Um, Yeah, it's been a very, very interesting year, and I just haven't had the time to make videos or do anything, with my blog or whatever. Um, and it's just been a bit of a difficult year, really. I gained a lot of weight. Pretty sure I went through depression, although I never got myself diagnosed. I just felt real bad all the time. I'm fine now. That's fine. But yeah, and also my work hours, because I work as a delivery driver for a pharmaceutical company. They went through the roof, and I was busy pretty much all the way through the week. I didn't have much time off, so it was very difficult for me to sit down and record videos and then edit them. And I also lost a lot of motivation, and yeah. And also leads on to the topic for today's video, and that's essentially the fact that I lost motivation to stick with um, a lot of the stuff that I did with my Japanese. I wouldn't say I stuck with AJAT ever since I uploaded that 2 year video of me speaking Japanese. Since then, I've never really done full on AJAT. I've always done like as much as I can throughout the day, but I've never done like full on like I need to focus, and like when I get home I need to read for like 2 hours, and I need to do my Anki reps for 2 hours, and I need to do this and that and this. It's just been a case of like I try and make sure I do everything in Japanese, but I don't really push myself to do that. Now, of course, that differs for different people. Some people think that is AJAT, and that's what they do. For me, my AJAT process at the beginning was very much just very intensive. I was just always focused on what I had to do next and making sure I did reading, listening, and made sure I set time slots for stuff and made sure I did everything every single day. I stopped doing that, and then I think as time went on, as things for me started to sort of decline, that habit of doing those things just started slipping, and I ended up just not doing it as much. And in the past year, sorry, and possibly a bit longer, I just haven't really been doing Japanese like I did. It's been a case of where, like, if I want to watch a show and it's a Japanese show, I'll watch it in Japanese, of course. Like, what's the point in watching it in English with subtitles or with dubs? It just doesn't make any sense to me to do that. So I would just, do it with, native Japanese audio. Things like Attack on Titan recently, obviously, that's just come out. It's just much easier for me to, like, watch it as soon as the episode comes out, even if there's no subtitles on it, because, like, why would I bother waiting for subtitles? I don't need them. So, things like that I still did. I would still consume Japanese media, and I would definitely still listen to Japanese music. Since listening to a lot of Japanese music, I can't really get back into English music, and I don't know why. I don't know. I just find it weird. I don't know. I don't like English music anymore. It's a very strange sort of thing. I don't know. Anyway, and I never really did any reading over the past year and a bit either. The only reading I would do was on probably some video games that I played here and there. And obviously my computer's operating system is still in Japanese. That's about it, really. So I haven't really been doing Japanese for quite a while, and I kind of wanted to discuss my thoughts and how my ability has changed because of that. Just so that you guys are aware, if you want to take a break, like how would it affect your ability, and how exactly, you should probably go about it, because I feel like I've learned quite a bit over the past year, about how you should probably not do it. So maybe, I could give you some advice on that. So firstly, I wanted to discuss the idea of taking a break in the first place. So a lot of people swear against this on AJAT because the whole point of AJAT is to stay immersed 24/7 to try and get to fluency as quickly as possible. The idea is that the more input you get in the shortest amount of time, the quicker you'll reach fluency. And if you were to speak to me, back in the day when I was doing AJAT, I would totally agree with you. I'd say, no, you can't take a break. You have to just keep pushing through. And I think I look at that and I think that's a really silly idea. And the reason being is because at the end of the day, you need to put yourself first. Even if the language is something that you really need to get down and learn, say you're moving to Japan in a year's time and you really need to focus and get the language into your head, if you're not in a good shape and you need to sort stuff out in your personal life and you don't have the time to think about it, and sure, people will say, well, it's literally just a case of sticking some podcasts on or whatever. Sometimes you're not in that mindset and you can't really focus and think about it like that. And so I think it's perfectly fine for people to take breaks and just sort of, deal with issues that they need to deal with first before coming back and thinking about Japanese. Because even if you do have a Japanese podcast on in the background, or if you need to go and try and find a podcast, that takes effort, that takes motivation, it takes willpower to do, and that might not be something that you have right now. And so I don't think it's a huge deal that you take a break. It's perfectly fine to do that. And one of the main reasons why I think it's perfectly fine to do that is because I've noticed that over the past year of me not doing much Japanese, although I've done a very minimal amount of contact. I've essentially spoken to my girlfriend in Japanese every day via text or via phone. And I've, watched a show maybe a couple of times a week here and there. And I also listen to Japanese music. As long as you get a minimum amount in, just to keep your brain going and keep your brain sort of in touch with it, you can really maintain the majority of the language, and it doesn't really have that much of an effect on you. You're not just going to forget a lot of what you learnt that quickly, especially if a lot of it is in your long-term memory, and especially if you've got already a core understanding of the language. If you've already reached that sort of core level of fluency, the very basic level of fluency, then it's just as Steve Kaufman points out. You can drop the language for a couple of months, or even in my case, a year, and you can come back to it and you will find that most of it you will still know. It's not just going to go away like that. It's only going to be a few words here and there, words that are less common, words that you haven't encountered that often before taking your break, that are going to be the ones that you don't know or don't remember. And it's exactly what I found. I found that my listening skills haven't really dropped at all. I can watch TV shows, dramas, podcasts, whatever. In the past couple of weeks, I've been getting back into it, and I've noticed that the podcasts I've been listening to, the TV shows I've been watching, I still understand 99% of what's going on, all the words that are said and all the sentences that are said. It's only very rarely that I have to look up a word that I don't know. In the case of reading, it's been a little more, there's been a few more words that I don't know. I would say it's been 85 to 90% of words that I know, and then the rest of the words that I don't know, or that I couldn't remember. And in a lot of the cases, they are words that I can actually work out. So obviously Japanese, the kanji and stuff, it's very easy to work out a kanji's meaning based on its reading and based on what the symbols mean. The symbols each have a meaning. You combine two symbols together to make a word, and then you can usually infer what that word means based on the kanji, how it's spoken, and obviously the sentence that it's in. So it's often not too hard to do. So in that case, it's not been much of a change. Now, the only issue that I have really noticed is in my speaking ability. Speaking is directly influenced by your listening ability, or the amount of listening that you get. and you're reading as well to a certain extent, but mainly you're listening. And the longer amount of time that you go without any listening, the worse your speaking will get. And that is something that I have noticed. And it's not to the point where like I cannot communicate. It's nowhere near that point. It's more like I could speak like relatively normally with a few mistakes, and now I speak like with a few more mistakes, and I can still speak normally, if that makes sense. And I do notice that on weeks where I listen to more TV shows or podcasts, that I can definitely speak better, if you know what I mean. So if I was to listen to a few shows at the beginning of the week, I find that on Thursday and Friday, I can usually speak more fluently, which is a very interesting thing. And it just makes me realize that if I do AJAT essentially, and I listen to a lot more and I focus on that, then I'm, going to improve my speaking a lot more. And the way I know this is mainly due to my girlfriend. I used to get a lot more compliments from her beforehand about my speaking ability about a year-ish ago, and nowadays it's been quite a few negative comments that I get from her. In the past 2 weeks, though, that has improved. She actually turns around and goes, "Oh wow, that was really well spoken. Oh wow, you sound like a native there." So it has definitely improved in that respect, and I've just realised that it's a case of more listening equals better speaking. And yeah, I don't think that's something that necessarily you need to worry about. I think it's all a case of, it's as Steve Kaufman says, as long as you get back into it and you focus solely on that language and not on other languages, you main that language essentially, then you're going to improve in it, you're going to be better at it, and you're going to essentially switch on that language again. I don't think there's any major detriments to taking a break, even after such a long period of time, like a year. It doesn't seem like it's been that much of an issue for me. So I really do think that if you are considering taking a break because of whatever reason, and you know that you will come back to it. I mean, you guys are watching this video, so you know how to learn language. You know that it's for immersion. You know it's, with the help of Anki, with the help of extensive reading. You know how to learn a language. So it's not like that knowledge is going to go away, and it's not like you don't have to put Japanese on hold because you're going to lose the ability. You're not. You know how to learn a language. If you want to come back to learn Japanese at another point in time, you can. You know how to do it. It's not like it's, going to run away or anything. So, yeah, I don't think you should feel bad about taking a break if you do take a break. That was one thing I think I was struggling with as well. It was just one of the other things that I was worried about. I felt guilty about was, oh no, I haven't touched Japanese in ages. What am I going to do? My ability is probably terrible, and I can't go back to YouTube because my ability is probably dropped. Oh no, what do I do? And I was just worried about all these different things. So I don't think it's something that needs to be, I don't think it's something that you need to worry about. And, it's a learning experience as well. And it teaches you that you can take a break and you can do other things. And if you want to learn a different language and focus on that language for a bit, you can do that. And you can always just come back to Japanese. Sure, it might not be the most efficient way of doing it. The most efficient way of doing it would probably be to just straight out learn Japanese till you get to fluency, and then come back to go to the next language after that. And I would definitely agree that that is the case. But if you find that you've lost motivation to learn Japanese for a few weeks, and you feel the need to learn Korean, for example, go do that. All the more to you. Go, put your motivation into the thing that you want to do, and then come back to Japanese at a later date. You're not going to lose that much progress. And at the end of the day, even if you do lose a bit of progress and you feel like you have lost a bit of progress, you know how to learn a language. It's literally just through watching anime, or not necessarily just anime, but watching lots of shows in that target language, listening to loads of podcasts, watching loads of films, and reading lots of native material. And so you can learn Japanese whenever you like. It's not going to go away. So hey guys, that's it for this video. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do for my first video back, but I guess it makes sense to talk about why I was gone for a year and about the lapse in my Japanese ability throughout the last year and what I think about that. And I hope it helped you guys somewhat. I hope you guys found it interesting. And yeah, if there's anything you guys want me to make in terms of videos, let me know. I've got a few ideas. I think I'm going to do a reaction to Duolingo because that's something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to make videos about a lot of the more famous ways of learning languages, which I don't think are very good, but I've never really used them. So it'll be interesting to use Duolingo and things like Memrise and give my thoughts on them, and hopefully you guys will find that interesting. And yeah, so if you do, then leave a like down below, leave a comment to let me know if you would like to see that, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And anyway guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Have a good one. Bye. Hello, if you're watching this when this video has just gone up, then I am currently live on Twitch TV/Brit vs Japan. Come check out the stream and say hi. I've just started streaming. I'm probably going to be doing it mostly Mondays and Tuesday evenings. I'm not really sure yet entirely what my schedule is going to be like, but yeah, if you could give me a follow on over there, then it'll let you know when I next go live. And you can ask me any questions you might have, and I'll be sure to try and answer as many as I can over on the live stream. So yeah, thanks for watching the video, and I hope to see you over on Twitch.